Hey friends, welcome back to Cozy with Calinnah, where I dive into my journey as an independent artist, the highs, the lows, and everything in between. I also connect with people who are creatives and multi-hyphenates and dreamers and doers. Don't forget to watch a new episode every Thursday. So my next guest is a very special guest. He is a digital content creator, a social media strategist. He's worked for top news stations and also has made some viral content that has gained over 1 million views. So he knows how to tell stories. He's also my behind the scenes partner in crime and makes the Calinnah brand shine. Welcome, Jonathan Soto. Hey!
Cue the loud screams. Hi everyone, I'm Jonathan Soto, and I am a part of Calinnah's team.
Yes, you are. Thank you for being here.
Of course.
We just worked on content right before this, so we're a little sweaty. It is like 82, 89 something degrees. It's really hot up in here, y'all. We ain't gonna have the blankets today.
We're not cozy.
We're not cozy, but we're intimate today. So let's talk about, what do you do in a nutshell?
What do I do? So I am, like you said, I am a digital content creator. Anything digital, anything storytelling, anything fun and creative, it's what I do. I do love and enjoy doing a lot of the video editing, which is why I'm a part of the Calinnah team, doing the video editing part of it, and just strategizing and coming up with different ideas of way of promoting or highlighting a brand, music, whatever it is.
Right. And how did you get into doing social media content? Was it always something that you wanted to do, or were you doing it as a child? Like you didn't realize you were doing that until later on, that it all connected?
As a kid, I've always been a creative. I've always loved art and drawing and sketching, and it led to me wanting to pursue a career in fashion, and I went to FITM right after high school.
Hey now, we know that's a FITM.
Which I know you said you've been to FITM. So I went to FITM and I pursued a career in visual communications. And because that's just I've always just been the behind the scenes type of thing. So that's what that major at FITM was focused on, like the designing the sets for like award shows or movie sets and whatnot. So that's always been my jam. And it was actually at FITM where I discovered my desire to pursue a career in the communications and like journalism realm. And that's when I completed my degree at FITM, and then I started taking community classes at a community college. That's when I transferred to Cal State Fullerton and got my bachelor's in communications with journalism, emphasis in journalism. And so yeah, I did that, and I worked at the #1 news station in Portland, Oregon, and I was handling the social media accounts for this big news station. So that was a pretty big deal because it's millions of followers, millions of people watching, and that's where I realized that social media was really where I wanted to be in, not necessarily in the news part of it. Don't get me wrong, I still love to tell stories. But it's just more of like the social media and the editing and just entertaining people on your phones, pretty much.
Yeah, and so you like applied for a news station, and then was social media just blowing up at that time? Because I mean, it's still kind of recent, right? Like,
yeah, I mean, it was definitely, I feel like it shifted so quick right after the 2020 pandemic that we survived.
Right.
We survived. I think everything just went so quick. You know, we saw more of like the curbside pickups and everything's order and just it's at your front step, or you just drive up and you just have your food or your order ready. So I think everything just went digital. And definitely working at a news station, they were, at least at that news station, they were focused on the digital aspect of it. So having they had an app, and then they had, like, you know how there's Hulu and Netflix and all of that. So they were launching like their version of that where people can go and see their content there. So it definitely was the time. I think it was a time where it was picking up.
Right. And is that a little bit like, did you have a lot of creative freedom with that? Because I feel like I worked a job that I was like a social media like a digital I don't even social media digital marketer or something for like a biopharmaceutical company, and it was like you had to wait like a while until you got something approved. I feel like it was a slower thing than maybe doing it independently, because they have all these kind of rules in place. Is that kind of how it was like on the news?
Yeah, a little bit.
Okay.
There wasn't much creative. It was some creative input, but there was still like the brand.
Gotcha.
It's a news station, and they have to represent themselves a certain way, and
Right.
we don't want to look bad, so
Right,
get
right,
canceled.
right. Yeah, nobody wants to get canceled now.
So there was a little bit. Sometimes there was some pushbacks into any like creative ideas that I might have had, but other than that, it was fun creating like the graphics and like the reels, and like I became known as like the digital person, like social media person at the station. So it was pretty cool. It was a really fun experience that I don't take for granted.
So then you started like doing your own thing after that, after the news station?
After the news station, I started. So that's when, after that is when I really sat down and I'm like, okay, I want to do the social media thing, but be consistent and like do it for me, right?
Yeah.
And so then that's when I just started just putting my phone up and just filming content.
Wow, okay.
So I think when I started 2 years ago now, I mean, I've been doing social media since it's been around, but I've never been as consistent as I've been in the past 2 years. And so I just started doing a lot of like home DIY projects and like filming the process of that. And then also I started doing my little coffee reviews, and then that just took off. And also just making relatable content online, anything that's trending. So I'm very like up to date onto like what's trending, what trends are happening, or what songs are going viral. So I think someone that's in social media, you need to be aware of that.
Right. So are you constantly like scrolling and like seeing what's out there to find those trends, or are there like resources that you have used? I guess maybe some of the viewers might be thinking, like, where do I find the trends? Like, right?
It's a little bit of both, a little bit of just scrolling and seeing, because at the end of the day, we all have our phones, our feeds are different. It's catered to you, right? It's for you page. So a little bit of both, of like scrolling and just seeing what's on there. But then once I find something, then you kind of dive in and you start clicking and going and looking, and
the rabbit hole.
The rabbit hole. That's
the rabbit hole.
The rabbit hole. But I also like to, I do also watch. I feel like also watching like reality TV, and
I know I'm a sucker for that. Are you into any shows?
The season's coming up. The second season, Secret Lives of Mormon Wives, is
really
has been my
That sounds pretty good. I feel like that's a whole nother life that I don't know about. So
it's a really good like I feel like I haven't really like been into a reality show since probably like I Love New York.
Oh, okay.
But this one's a really good, like, I know it's not, I mean, it's real people, but I know it's like staged and stuff. But we all know.
Yeah,
we all know it's
we all know
reality TV, and they gotta make make us watch. But it's a really, really good one. I really liked it.
Okay, so maybe I'll have to get into that one.
But no, yeah. So watching reality TV, and I love going on Pinterest, seeing on Pinterest, because it's people overlook Pinterest a lot.
Okay.
That's where you can find a lot of inspo too, and a lot of people share on there, and people are making money on Pinterest too.
Wow, interesting. I mean, I use Pinterest for like inspiration, but I never really thought a bit about it as for trends and finding those types of things.
And posting. You can post on there too.
Okay, I need to add another thing to my plate. Another thing. So let's talk about some of your content, which gained some virality, right? You got some virality. Or virality. I don't know. Tomato. How did that come about? Can we talk about those videos? Because there were a few, right, that went
Yeah, I think
Viral?
last summer I was having a little viral moment. Okay.
Okay. She was feeling
I
skinty.
was feeling it. How did that come about? Honestly, it was just, I know it's a human thing where we doubt ourselves, and we're just like, you want to post it and then you kind of pull back and you don't post it. And I know we hear it all the time, like, post the content, post the content. So it was one of those moments where it was just like, I'm going to post it. Like, even if it seems cringe. And I posted it, and it's funny because it was like, the first one that went viral, I think it was like literally like a 3-4 second clip. And it's just me like looking over my phone. Like, it's the illusion of me looking over the phone. And then it has text over it. And then it had the circus sound. Like,
Okay.
So that just blew up. Like, I posted it and I'm like, no one's going to like it.
That's so crazy.
And it was so relatable to so many people. The amount of comments, like, it was just... moment that I was having, literally.
What was the bit? Like, what did it say?
It was something along the lines, I might not be right on the dot, but I think it was like, so on Instagram, if you don't know this, now you're going to know. On Instagram, we all have our mutual friends and followers. So when you're scrolling on your For You page,
right,
it'll tell you who has liked what. So if you're out there liking some raunchy type of content, or
someone's gonna find out,
it'll show on there like Calinnah liked it.
Oh,
and
yeah.
I don't know if you've noticed, it has a little bubbles and it'll say that you liked it. So pay attention to that. So it was something along the lines saying that it's about dating. So it's like you're into him, but then you see the reels that he's liking, and it makes you question whether you cringe. And then that's why it has the little circus song. It's just like,
okay, that's good.
Clownery,
I
clownery.
Like yeah, you a clown.
So I think it got a lot of people. It was interactive in a way where it's like, well, how can I see that? So all of the comments were like, wait, you can see what people are liking.
People were like, oh.
Yeah, like it was to the point to where a lot of people were like questioning, and they were like, that's not real. And bottom line, they were interacting with the content, and the content was getting the likes and the views and the virality that we were talking about.
That's crazy.
And so yeah, that one was the first one. And then after that, I got into the groove. I was like, okay, let me just keep posting this cringy content.
The thing, like your internal thoughts, basically, of like how everyone thinks, but doesn't have the guts to say online, right?
Exactly.
And I think the other one was that In and Out one, right?
So the In and Out one, the one that my mom helped me film that one. She was the one behind the camera.
Thanks, Mom.
We had In and Out for lunch, and then I told her, I was like, Mom, I'm gonna put a filter on and you're gonna record me just walking out. We did a couple takes, and I wish I had recorded her recording, and she was a good sport. She did good.
Oh, thanks, Mama.
Yeah, she did good. And that one was, so last summer, I think this trend comes back every once in a blue moon, but it's like along the lines where it's like, where's the waist? Like, it's not there. It's because you're snatched, right? So I made it. So I follow the trend, but then I cater it to like me. I love In and Out. Like, I know you love In and Out too.
Yeah, I know.
So I was just like, okay, let me do the trend, and it was the Nicki Minaj song, right? The
okay, yeah.
the no flex zone, I think the remix. And so then that's when I was like, okay, I'm gonna cater this to me, and how can I make this be relatable to me, but then relatable to other people? And so then I put, I just had a protein style burger at In-N-Out. If you see a dust in the wind or something, it's like me, because my waist is not. And
you're snatched. It's getting away from you.
And I did use. It's supposed to be obvious that I'm using a filter, obviously, right? So it's supposed to be funny.
Yeah.
And that one also, just people related to it, because a lot of people think like that, right? Like, oh, I'm watching what I'm eating. Let me do protein style.
Yeah, totally.
And so I think it just resonated with a lot of people, and that one also just went like crazy. Some people did like go on it. They played with it. They're like, oh my God, is this just the building of In and Out? We can't see. Where are you? Like,
dang, people really look into this.
People were really. I think there was only like one or two I think there was one comment where, there's got to be some people that kind of like do the backlash, right?
Right,
I think
of
one
course.
person was, I think one of the comments was just like, oh, eating disorders or something like that. And I'm just
Oh,
like, I mean, I
okay.
totally understand, but
Yeah.
it's like, I'm having fun. I'm
Right.
not hurting anyone.
Yeah.
It's just a fun little,
Yeah.
a reel.
It's a bit. It's a bit.
Yeah.
And do you feel like it's hard to keep that momentum going with like virality, or like, how do you keep it going, I guess?
Just being consistent for sure, and
Yeah.
posting, and like I said, keeping up with like what's trending. How can you make it yours? How can you make it Calinnah? How can you make it Jonathan? That way you're
Right.
not just making content, just like making content, but it's like, because what I've learned is that you need to be, one, relatable, and two, like you need to become a friend to your followers.
Right. Right. That's really
So
important.
you want to keep them engaged and like what makes them come to you.
All right. And let's talk about working together. So Jonathan helps me with social media. It's not a secret. You've seen him behind the scenes in some of the videos. He's, sometimes there.
Throwing boxes at her.
Yeah, he's throwing boxes at me. And I'm like, ah. But yeah, I feel like it's almost been like a year now.
We're coming
anniversary.
around. Work anniversary is coming up.
It's coming up. So yeah, let's talk about, I feel like we work pretty well together. We knock out things pretty quickly. And I think a lot of creatives that I've come across is like, how do you make time to create all this content, And I think maybe we could just guide the viewers into our process and kind of how we work, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like number one, organization is key. I think like we've learned along the way, because it's also like
we love Calinnah's calendar, Google calendars.
Listen, it might not be like the most aesthetically pleasing, but it gets the job done. And I think we've been able to over time, I think we started and we filmed like a month's worth of content in like 2 days, right? And then we've like kind of been able to taper it down more and more throughout the year.
It was 2
right?
days, huh? We started with 2 days.
2 years, 2 days. And it was
now
just
it's
a lot.
like 1 day, and then sometimes under 4 hours is probably
yeah. So I think it's just with that takes a lot of planning, and like we have meetings that go before we film the content so that we can make sure that we're on track. So when it's time to film all the content, we're ready to go. Like we just have to refer back to the whatever content our calendar on what needs to be posted. So yeah, I just wanted to thank you for hanging in there.
Oh my God.
It's been a journey.
It's keeping me, my what do they say when your skills, you sharpen your skills,
Sharpening
right?
skills,
so it's
yeah.
keeping my video editing skills like sharpened and not forgotten. So thank you for that too.
Yeah, you're killing it. You're super fast, which I love. And I think, you're really good at attention to detail. So yeah, I think it's about
hire me.
yes,
resume.
Hire him. Yeah, and you have clients as well, right? You've worked with a few different clients.
I've had a couple clients after once I started with Calinnah, and that kind of made me more legit. And then my own personal. So I've had a couple other friends that have like their own brands. So I've helped them, not as long as I have with Calinnah, but have stepped in and helped them. And anything that I learned with Calinnah, I kind of like implemented when it comes like to a calendar and everything.
Yeah.
So yeah.
So you have a full-time job, right? So are there any challenges that you face with balancing it all? Because that's a lot on your plate as well.
It is a lot. I don't know how I do it sometimes, because I'm like, okay, I have my full-time job. I have my own content that I have to keep up with. And then I have Calinnah's content to also
That's
do.
a lot of stuff to juggle.
So it's a lot of things. So I've definitely, like you said, staying organized the best that I can.
Yeah.
I definitely prioritize Calinnah's content, because Calinnah is, she's top priority. and then I come second. But I've done a good job at it still when it comes to posting my own personal content. I think just because like you described me, I'm pretty quick at it and reacting to it. Like, okay, this is like trending right now? How can I make this mine? So I'm just quick at it that way. And I
Right.
think also like finally letting go of that mentality that we're saying where it's just like, oh, cringe, like don't post it.
Yeah.
I kind of just film it, post it, and then
forget about
it
Yeah,
and see if it does.
Right.
what it
Like I
does.
feel like it's like obviously you want to know your growth, right? And like if it's performing well, but you don't want to do it to the point where you're just like fixated on just like looking at the numbers all the time, because sometimes things grow too. Like things have a moment later. Like some of my reels don't perform until, it's not always that day or
Yeah.
the next day. It's sometimes over the month. So things just take time, right? And patience. And so it's been fun, like having to look every month and see how we've been progressing and things that we've been changing, and just trying to find like what works and what doesn't work, right?
Yes.
Yeah. But I think it definitely has come back to relatability and understanding your audience, or trying to find out what your audience likes, because we didn't really know that at the beginning of it all.
Going with your ideas and then executing those ideas, and then looking at the analytics, and is this what people are wanting out of me? Is this working for me? Is this not working for me? And then it's trial and error.
Right. It's trial and error again and again and again. Like I feel like people don't understand that just because they're seeing you do these things, right? Like it's more like feeding familiarity also, so that they can remember you. It's kind of unfortunate in this day and age. Like you have to keep up, right? Because there's just so much content that you have to push every single day, or as much as you can. It doesn't have to be that way. But, I think we've come to like a good middle ground on what we're comfortable with, at least right now. And then, hopefully more and more as we grow more. Let's talk about if someone wants to get into social media content now. Like, are there things that they should be looking for? Is the algorithm that important? What should they be doing to start?
Okay, I'm gonna go based on my own experience.
Okay.
I'm not a professional.
I mean, clearly.
I mean, I'm a professional at what I do, but I'm not a professional when it comes to like what should people be looking. This is just going based on what I do, what my best practices. Definitely looking at your analytics, looking at who your followers are, what the age ranges are, what kind of content they're liking, keeping up with that. You don't have to go crazy looking at your analytics every single day. Maybe do it end of the month, right? That's what we do. We look at the end of the month and we look at which ones are performing, which ones are not performing, which ones are the draggers, and which ones are the thrivers or the movers.
The movers or the thrivers.
So anyone that's looking into doing social media, I think, like for you personally, one, you need to make your Instagram account a business account or a creator account in order to have access to the analytics.
Right.
If you're not gonna be able to really have much of those metrics.
Right.
So you definitely want to, whatever it is that you are pursuing, whether it's beauty or how-tos or anything, food, cooking, just change your profile to that. That way you have access to that. Also, and then if you really want to commit to it, I know that now Meta is offering, if you want to like verify your account now,
right,
it gives you even more. I personally haven't yet. Maybe I should.
Yeah.
It gives you more of an insight as to even more analytics and more stats. And
I
stuff.
didn't even know this.
Yeah,
I thought it just gave you that like check mark as so you're more legit.
Because it's supposed to make you more legitimate, right? That you're the original Calinnah.
Right.
Or the original
okay.
Jonathan.
Yeah. Okay.
So I think definitely that's number one step, is changing your account type, and then just not try to overwhelm yourself with like trying to have the highest like high tech things.
Right.
Just use what you have. Your phone is a great instrument, as well as just like any selfie or tripod, and then just using that. And then as you go, then you'll start investing in more like mics and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I feel like a lot of people, we have we have these ideas and we're just like, we need to have all this money to buy all these things so that I can be successful. But it's like, no, you need to work with what you have.
Right.
And then build.
Right. They always say content is king. So it doesn't matter if it's like, I mean, look at that guy who the cranberry guy, right? The now here you go again. He became viral and he was just like, it was like literally just him like skateboarding down a hill and drinking whatever that cranberry
Oh, the one with the
Dreams by
yeah.
by
Who is that?
you know who I'm talking about. Fleetwood Mac.
Fleetwood Mac. There
Fleetwood
you go.
Mac,
Yeah.
and then they blew up again. It was like a song that was always. I mean, it's one of my favorite songs, but it was just one of those
With
like
Stevie Nicks.
with Stevie Nicks, and then it blew up again because of him. But it didn't require that it was in a professional studio.
It was literally him doing it.
It was literally him just doing his thing, and I think people crave authenticity still, and they know if it's fake, and if it's fake, you better make it look like super fake for it to like be believable fake.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, I think people can tell.
Yes.
You know, so it's a matter of just always sticking to what is you too, and also, I mean, for me, I try to do that, and also try new challenges, things that are out of my comfort zone, but not to the point where I'm like losing my identity, you know?
We've gotten some acting out of Calinnah.
We listen, you know, I used to take acting classes as a kid.
No, I didn't know that.
And I thought that the reason why I stopped acting classes was because I was too shy. But my mom was like, you were never shy. We just couldn't afford the classes. They were just so expensive. I was like, oh, so I've been like lying to myself this whole time. Like I just like little confidence. So it's like, I feel like the acting bug is coming back, even though I never really like went full out there. It's fun to like do these skits and reels with you and try these new things. And I'm like, okay, let's go for it. Let's try it. So, but yeah, anything else?
Oh, so, yeah. So what was I saying? So changing your account, working with what you have equipment wise, and just being consistent, have a game plan, and just do it because you love to do it. Don't, if it seems like a drag to do it, then maybe just, you don't have to pursue that.
Right.
So you have to really like love to do it and love what you're posting about, because then you're just going to be miserable.
Right. Like, don't do it for the money, kids. Do it for, I mean, we obviously all want to make money. Yes. But, you know, do it because you're passionate about it. Like, I remember when Stephanie was on here, she gave some good advice. Like, the reason why she chose the topics for her podcast, because, well, originally she thought it would be like fashion, but she's like, I can't really talk about that all the time. So it's just something that you want to talk about, something that we could go on and on about every day, no matter who it is, if it's this or outside of this. So, But yeah, any last words?
Just do it.
Just do it, Nike.
Just
Thanks,
do it.
Nike, for this.
Not sponsored by Nike.
Yeah, not sponsored by Nike.
Just do it. I feel like everyone's doing it already.
Might as well.
There's so many people doing the get readies with me. There's so many out there, but why not add another one? So just do it. So don't let that hold you back, and just make sure to always just be you, how you said. And those who want to watch will watch. And just remember, if you have 1,000 followers, think about it, how it would look in real life. How many 1,000 people in front of you? That's a lot of people.
That's a lot of people. I remember seeing like I think I was sad about like one of the reels maybe that didn't perform that well, and then I saw one of these memes where it was like 100 people liked your video, and then they show 100 people in a room. And I'm like, that's a lot of people, and then they're like 1,000 people, like, you know, and it kept on getting bigger and bigger. So it's like, I think just to not get in our heads about too much of the numbers, you know, and remember that if we only have like how many good friends in our lives, maybe 1, 2, 3 to 5, and we're happy with that. I mean, imagine if we had 100 of them. That's a lot of friends to keep up with.
Yeah.
So yeah, just be you, be true, and Just do it.
I
right?
mean, because if we cared about the numbers, we probably would have quit a long time ago.
Yeah.
When working with Calinnah, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. And yeah, I just wanted to thank you for being on here. It's almost our anniversary.
I know.
It's so
It's
romantic.
almost our season too.
Oh,
Okay.
and we're cancers. We're both cancers. If anyone,
Nobody asked. But
nobody
we're
asked,
cancers.
but here we go. So whoever's compatible with our signs, maybe
Let us know.
let us know.
Leave your information down below.
Right. Exactly. So yeah, I wanted to say thank you for being on this podcast. Where can we find you?
You can find me online on Instagram at Jonathan Soto or Soto. It's just literally Jonathan Soto
Okay.
on
Sounds good.
Instagram, and then my TikTok is at the Jonathan Soto.
Oh,
And those are really the only two major platforms that I'm really like on. I have Threads, but that's connected to my Instagram. So just Jonathan Soto, the Jonathan Soto, you'll find me.
perfect. All right, friends, thank you for tuning in. Don't forget to watch a new episode next Thursday. And as always, don't forget to subscribe, like, and hit that notification bell on Sing With Me. Cozy with Calinnah. Bye.